Justice Central.
Justice with Judge Maybelline will be life, because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where is your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You're going to help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's order in court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Maybelline.
All rise. All parties, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Maybelline presiding.
Thank you, Will. You may all be seated. In the matter of Wes Jordy versus Jake Bronson, you are suing him for $3,840 for lost wages, you're claiming. And of course, you're denying it and saying he doesn't owe, you don't owe him any back wages.
Right.
Okay, so tell me what happened, Jordy.
I was looking for a little side job to supplement my non-existent income. My parents are paying for college right now, so I was looking for a job, and Mr. Bronson is the only one who responded. So I went for a meeting at his event company, and I secured the position as his personal assistant.
All right, so now what happened?
So everything was smooth sailing for the first 3 months. I was on a 6-month contract, and there was one hiccup, and I apologize for that hiccup. I unfortunately sent an email to a client disclosing a top secret party that we were planning, but it was to the wrong client, so people found out about it.
That was a small hiccup?
There was no hiccup, Your Honor.
Well, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
That's a hiccup.
It was a costly mistake.
Yeah.
He
says it was small. That's what I said to him. You call that a small hiccup?
That is not a small mistake.
It was my first, I should say it was my first mistake. I agree, it was not small. No.
Okay.
So the first week of my being at the company, I was sitting at my desk. My colleagues started gathering around me, and unbeknownst to myself, they were throwing me a welcome to the company party. They were all holding cupcakes, and I admit it was well-intentioned, and they were trying to be kind and supportive to me on my first week, but I started going into a panic attack because I suffer from something called phobophobia, which is fear of surprises. I was sitting there and I was starting to breathe very heavily, I was starting to get dizzy, and I was trying to compose myself as they were all gathered around me. And as they started leaving my desk, I stood up and I took myself to the conference room so I could gather myself. And once I got in there, Mr. Bronson, I suppose, noticed something was wrong with me, so he came in to check on me. And that is when I disclosed to him my phobophobia, and he was very kind about it. And I thought that from then on, that this wouldn't be an issue.
So then what happened?
After that initial disclosure, he told me that this wouldn't be an issue, that I didn't have to be a part of parties, that I could do my work from home on those days, that he would let me know in advance when parties were happening.
You took a job in an event planning company.
Yes.
That deals with putting events together, including parties.
Correct.
And you have a phobia of being around a lot of people and that kind of stuff?
No, Your Honor. I have a phobia of being surprised.
Oh.
Not of the parties themselves. So, fast forward 3 months, my colleagues gathered around me and started singing Happy Birthday.
So no one said anything to your colleagues about the first gathering around when they welcomed you, that was a problem and not to do that again?
Well, I was hoping that is what Mr. Bronson would do, but here we are on my birthday.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. I didn't ask you to talk yet.
That's what I was hoping for. And
well, let me ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Panic attack first time around, after the surprise welcoming party, and he told you about his condition, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Did you disclose that to anyone else in the company?
I cannot disclose that information to anyone in the company. My hands are tied. That's private information.
But not disclosing the actual information about the medical condition. But did you say to them, don't do any surprise parties for Mr. So-and-so? You can disclose that.
I did not do that, Your Honor.
Okay, you doesn't like surprise parties without going into his medical condition. You can certainly say that.
I was afraid it would leak out from whatever I said. That, you know, I really
I mean,
wanted to
what,
protect his
leak?
privacy.
Did you say, all you have to do is put out a memo, no surprise parties for Mr. So-and-so. You promised him that you weren't going to have them, and you weren't, oh, wait a minute, that's what he says. So let me ask you, did you say to him, that will not happen? You don't have to come around when there are parties, when there are surprise parties, when there are celebrations like that. You can work from home. Did you tell him that?
Right. Well, I made the accommodation. Yes, I understood his situation, and
Right.
I said in order to accommodate him, I said, look, if you feel at any time when you come into work, like if there's going to be an event or a party or something like that, you don't have to come in. You can work from home as long as you fulfill your duties from home and you do your job.
Yeah,
that
but
will be okay.
so you didn't think that you needed to let anyone else know in the company, just in case you're not the only person there?
Coming up on Justice with Judge Maybelline.
Finally, they disperse, and I was going through such a panic attack that I actually had to go home. I couldn't even drive. I had to call a taxi.
And later,
Once I sussed out that she was not a serial killer, I was like, you know, I feel comfortable living in this space with her. So I offered to cover the expenses of furniture until she got back on her feet.
Justice with Judge Maybelline.